welcome to the General Hospital Envy, my GH Chapter show. Before we get into the plot, we have to discuss the fact that Cynthia Watros debuted as Nina this week. What do we think? Here's my personal take. I think that Michelle Stafford is an amazing actress, and Michelle has a big personality, okay? And I mean that in the best way, because I adore her. And when she's playing Nina, her personality definitely shines through. Cynthia, she seems a bit more reserved as a person. But I have to give her and the writers credit because I believe that they are making every effort to make sure that her portrayal is very similar to Michelle's and that the writing stays the same, which is good because I find in recent years, a lot of the recasts that have been happening, I feel like the writers try to play up to the actor's strength and, do away with the consistent writing for the character, which annoys the crap out of me. Fine examples being, when Roger first started playing Franco was a dark character, and then they started, using Franco as comic relief when Roger took over the role. It's not like that anymore, but at the beginning, that's what it really was. And then same with Emmy Rylan when she debuted as Lulu. We lost the old Lulu completely. I feel like Lulu was way more Spencer back in the day, and now she's kind of played off as sort of like a ditzy airhead, and it made me lose all my love for the character, sadly. And like I said, I think that they're making the effort to make Cynthia as close to Michelle's Nina as possible this time around. So kudos to that. What do you guys think of the new Nina? Let me know in the comments below. Alright, now let's get into the plot. Honestly, I feel like this week I could probably plow through a lot of it pretty quickly because it seemed like most of this week was filler. I mean, we had Peter's non-surprise birthday party. We had Kevin getting his job back. We had Mac becoming the new police commissioner, which, by the way, I feel like everyone's cheering as if he was a better commissioner than Jordan, but realistically, as far as my viewing of Mac over the last, however long that was, Jason and Spinelli pretty much solved every crime in the city, and Mac just sort of sat in the back, and then Jason and Spinelli would also cover up their own crimes. So, I don't know. I mean, it's cool, I guess. Yeah, I don't have much of an opinion on it. I feel like him and Jordan are probably on equal footing in terms of, being good police commissioners. I do love Mac more because of, nostalgia, but also Robert being forced into retirement. I'm pretty sure that the last time we checked, Frisco was running the WSB. I don't think Frisco would actually do that to Robert, so this doesn't make much sense to me either. Alright, since we started this episode of GHMV with talking about Nina, we might as well get into her plots, and I'll go into a bit more detail than I did with those last few things. Basically, Valentine tries to buy Jax's portion of Aurora from him, and he just stands his ground and says no, flat out. And Valentine is a bit of a jealous douchebag, and he tries to hire Curtis to look into Jax's history just to find anything on him to use against him. I do give Nina credit because she straight up told Valentine that she would hate him as a boss. So, I liked it. I am liking this rivalry between Jax and Valentine though. It's kind of exciting, it's new, and I feel like Jax will actually give Valentine a run for his money. Take him down, Jax, take him down. I'm rooting for you, bud. Now, despite the recast, the animosity between Nina and Willow is still there. I mean, Willow gave Charlotte the some kind of award for kindness, and Nina was still like, well, what about her grades? They're amazing. And Willow was like, her grades speak for herself. I gave her an award based on something that she had to really work on. Boom, you go, Willow. Speaking of Willow, though, we did learn at the beginning of this week that the mysterious death that happened in Beecher's Corners actually happened to be Willow's father. Now, at first, we were led to believe that perhaps Willow killed her father, but by the next episode, we did learn that she just meant it in a metaphorical way. I mean, Shiloh clearly seems responsible for the death somehow. Hopefully Jason figures out how though. By the way, I'm super glad that Willow didn't actually kill her father because I would have been so annoyed because this girl already has so much drama happening in her life. She doesn't need one more. I'd be over it if she had one more piece of drama like that. This poor girl seems to have a lot of bad luck though because it seems like she may actually get her job back at school, but they're keeping her behind when she's running late for court. So that's probably gonna not work in her favor. Give this girl a break, come on, that's horrible. I mean, surely Lulu and Elizabeth and Franco could have understood that she had an appointment that she cannot miss, she can't postpone it, but they were just pushing her to stay, and now I think it's gonna cost her something involving Wiley. Hopefully not, but you know, this is a soap opera, it's gonna happen. I did enjoy some of the court scenes though. I mean, you had Shiloh there facing off with Alexis and Diane. I mean, they were just like getting off on the fact that he was suffering and he was just being, you know, gross Shiloh. And he even threatened Alexis with the pledge that Christina gave. I'm just, I'm over it. Alexis goes to Diane and basically says like, he deserves to be in the ground. And I mean, I'm down for it. Like, this could be an ultimate whodunit story because everyone in Port Charles hates the guy. The entire town can be involved in this. Hell, I'd be cool with it if Mac or Jordan or whoever's police commissioner by the time this is over don't solve anything. You know, it can be an unsolved crime that can forever be in Port Charles history as a good thing. Now, in reference to Alexis, this whole thing with Neil and his past, there has to be a connection to Willow in some way. I mean, the stories are too eerily similar to not, you know, be involved in some way. I mean, I think we've ruled out the fact that he's Willow's father, because that obviously didn't happen. But the fact that her father is dead and his daughter is dead, you know? It's just too similar. I'm wanting to know what's up. Do you guys think there is a connection? Let me know in the comments below as well. Alright, now elsewhere in Port Charles, I feel like Kim might be on the verge of a mental breakdown because she is asking Julian to father a child for her, like now. And obviously that's out of her grief for losing Oscar. But I don't know if it's registering with her, like, that this is not, like, a normal way to react. To Julian's credit, he did turn her down for obvious reasons. He's not stupid. This is obviously out of her grief. And Elizabeth also talked to her. And at the end of their conversation, it really did seem like Elizabeth might have gotten through to her. But then she was making a call to Drew. And it wouldn't surprise me if that call has to do with wanting him to father her child. I mean, in the mind of a grieving mother that might be having a mental breakdown, it would make sense for her to go to Drew for this since, you know, they made Oscar together. Maybe they can make an Oscar 2.0 together, you know. I'm totally down to see Tamara Braun play this though because I feel like she would rock the storyline and it would be, you know, something interesting for Kim to do. Now, Kim obviously isn't the only one still grieving for Oscar. Josslyn is still grieving as well, and she decides to have a seance to try to reach Oscar from the other side using a glass of water, some candles, and a picture of Oscar while Cameron and Trina joined her. Supposedly, if there is a ripple in the glass of water, that means they've made contact. Now, I'm not an expert on the paranormal, you know, like, I think that you can definitely reach ghosts in some way. I don't think the way that they're saying is a thing, because, first of all, it just seems a bit silly. They were holding hands and, you know, laughing on the table, and then they were like, oh, the water moved. Yeah, it moved. Y'all were laughing and shaking the table. Like, it seems so stupid. Like, I figured that we'd see Lucy helping them reach him somehow with a way that seemed to make more sense. I mean, if it were that easy to contact the dead, I think everyone would just take a glass of water, put it on a table with a picture and some candles and be like, you there? It just seems stupid to me. Anyway, after the seance was over, it appeared that someone was watching Josslyn from the backyard. At first, they kind of played it like maybe it was Oscar, but it turns out that it was Dev from Turkey. You know, that kid that helped Sonny rescue Dante? Now, I totally expected that we were going to see him again, even back then. I mean, I was getting some serious Sonny and Stone vibes from them in the first place, so it was only a matter of time before I knew that we were going to see him on screen again. I like that they did it this way. I mean, he got caught by Josslyn at Dante's house, and then he needed Sonny's help, and Sonny did help him and even got him a new name because obviously he was in the country illegally, but you know, Sonny pulled his mobster magic and gave him family credentials. Apparently, he is now Sonny's cousin Devin. Who'da thunk it? Now, it seems to me that they might be testing the waters on a potential future relationship between Josslyn and Dev. I mean, he's a bit of a bad boy, and that was, you know, Carly's MO. And she is a lot like Carly, as we learned this week. Eavesdropping on Carly and Dev's conversation so that she can get more info on who he actually was. That's classic Carly. Now, would you guys be down for a Josslyn and Dev pairing? I know that a lot of people kind of wanted Josslyn to go to Cam after Oscar's death. And, I mean, now Trina's in the mix too, so it could be like an interesting love square, I guess. Who do you ship? Let me know. But yeah, that was General Hospital this week. Let me know what you guys thought of this week's episodes below. I mean, I thought it was mostly boring until the end of the week, so it wasn't that thrilling to me. But if you liked it, let me know. If you like this video, give it a big old thumbs up, subscribe if you want to, and I will catch you guys next time.